Excellent. Hello and welcome to the Prep Football National Signing Day ceremony. My name is Howie Brown. I'm the Director of Admission here at St. Joe's Prep, and I'm a proud graduate of the class of 1999, and I have the pleasure of emceeing this ceremony. Today, we will be honoring 5 members of our state championship football team. They will be signing national letters of intent to continue their academic and athletic careers at some outstanding colleges and universities. We previously announced 10 members back on the first signing of the year, and I know coaches told me that a few others are also expected to sign this year. Before we get started, I remind panelists to turn off their microphones and we'll let you know when it's your turn to speak. To get us started today, I would like to welcome the Prep's Director of Athletics, Mr. Dan DeBerninas. Dan.
Thanks a lot, Howie. First and foremost, I want to congratulate these young men on one heck of a season. I'm new to the Prep this year, and it was a great welcome to win a state championship and to be a part of that. I want to thank our coaches and who put all their hard work and dedication to working with these young men. And I want to congratulate them individually. As an athletic director, it's a great feat to see your young men continue on their academic and athletic career at the next level. It's something. It's one of my favorite days of the year. Real quick, when I met these guys, I'm new, but what I learned right away is, and it's a big testament to the parents at home. You instilled great character in these young men. I was blown away by their ability to show up every day. This year had a bunch of hiccups, COVID shutdowns, unorthodox practices, journey all over the tri-state area, and they showed up and with a smile on their face. So it's a true testament to the characteristics of these young men, and it's going to take them very far in life. Here at their time at St. Joe's, they've put in hundreds of hours of service. They've been involved in a great amount of activities, and they completed a very rigorous academic programs and one of the best in the state. So I'm excited for the future for them, and we're going to keep cheering them on here at the Prep Nation. So congratulations.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dan. Next up is a man who needs no introduction, but will get one anyway. In 2 seasons as head coach at the Prep, Tim Rockin has led the football program to consecutive state championship victories. This is one of the many reasons Coach Rockin was a finalist for the All-American Bowl's National Coach of the Year Award, which recognizes exceptional coaching abilities and leadership skills, as well as his role as a positive influence on young players. Coach Rockin, welcome to today's signing ceremony.
How are we doing, Howie? Thank you. We appreciate you being able to join us again today for this National Signing Day ceremony. Congratulations to our 5 Prep football representatives and their families today for a step taken on a path of a new journey. And good afternoon to all that are watching, and I hope you and your families are safe and warm after the storms earlier this week. We come together together again today to celebrate an amazing senior class that has accomplished so much on the field, but more importantly, in this class is full of incredible young men and great ambassadors for our program in our Prep community. We have 20 seniors in this class. They will all go to college, and 18 of which will have decided to play football at the next level and will be granted that opportunity. Those other 2 individuals would like to focus on their academics, and we wish them the best in selecting from some amazing academic options that they have to pick from. The NCAA has multiple signing days a year, and for athletics, we'll have another one in the spring for this class to finish out at that point. This senior class, as mentioned, has accomplished a lot on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. From team state championships, which bring up individual accolades, academic honors in the classroom, and the impact that they've not only had in the Prep community, but in the city and across the country is pretty special. So we appreciate all the sacrifices that have been made by these players and families to get to this point. We hope the Prep football experience is something that you can carry with you and use the lessons learned to jumpstart your new journey that you have coming up in front of you. So without further ado, Howie, let's get started on today's signing.
Excellent. Thank you, Tim. First up is Xavier Atkins. Xavier, you want to take yourself off mute? We're going to say some nice things about you, but taking yourself off mute, you can be ready to go when it's your turn. Xavier hails from St. Thomas the Apostle School in Glen Mills. I first met Xavier when he attended our pre-7th grade program, and I was actually his comedy improv teacher. So to honor his comedy roots here today, Xavier and I are going to play a quick round of Dr. Know-It-All, and we're going to need some audience suggestions. Okay, just kidding, of course. This season, Xavier had 17 total tackles and tied for a team-high 9 pass deflections. He saved his best game for last by leading the team in tackles and intercepted a Central York pass in a crucial time of the state championship game. Xavier has also had success in long and triple jump on the track team. Tim, what else can you tell us about Xavier?
Yeah, Xavier, I remember when he came to camp in middle school. He was a quarterback at the time, so he was with me during individual and offensive periods. He was quiet, soft-spoken, but was always very respectful and coachable. And then, when you have those younger guys in the camp, sometimes they're really tense and, they're trying to be very robotic and just, they don't always play kind of free at that time. But there's always a good point at that camp at the end of the day, where the guys are playing 7-on-7s and, it's kind of them just being themselves. And I remember staying with Gabe and talking about Xavier and just seeing how much of a difference he was from the individual sessions we had early in the morning to, him just playing free and playing amongst one another and having fun on all sides of the ball, whether it's offense or defense, and flying around just making plays. And you've seen that drive in him and that competitiveness in him, and that carried through to his time here at the prep, and both academically and on the field. He wanted to compete every day and give it his all, and turned into being a 2-year starter at the corner position for us, as well as punting. And we didn't punt as much this year, and we had some conversations as some practices went on during the year, but he was a gamer for sure when it came to if we needed him to get us out of hard times there in punting the ball. And obviously in terms of the corner position, he's on the other side of a young man that's getting a lot of opportunities, throw down for a guy that's going to graduate next year. And for 2 years, they're the guy when teams are preparing, they're going to go after. Most times they're going to throw at Xavier, right, more than they're going to attack Keenan at times. That's just the game plan most teams would use. And with the caliber of players that he's gone against in the programs that we played, he is going to be able to go to the next level and play at a very high level, in terms of his confidence and his ability that he has in himself. And something that he was able to do just that started off, very young, in that camp was just playing without fear and just going out and being himself. And you've seen that in that 7-on-7 piece at the end of that camp there. And that's something that he overcame, in his time here. And you've really seen it these last 2 years, him just running around, flying around, playing without fear. And like you said there, Howie, saved his best for last and won an unbelievable state championship game. And, the amount of tackles and, the coverage that he displayed there. And then obviously a huge interception there that right before the half, that we score and wind up scoring on the next play and throwing a trick play to go into halftime there and set us up for a great night that night. So, appreciate Xavier and his family and the sacrifice that you've made being here, and, wish you the best in your next stop, and why don't you let everybody know where you'll be attending school next year.
Thank you, Coach. First, I'd like to thank God for letting me get to this point. I would also like to thank my parents and my sisters for always supporting me and giving me all the love I needed. And with that being said, I decided to attend East Stroudsburg University.
Excellent. Congratulations, Xavier. Next up is James Bementry. James is an alum of St. Norbert's in Paoli and almost wasn't a part of the class of 2021. James and his family reached out to our office in the spring of his 8th grade year to take us up on his acceptance to the prep, and we're so glad that he did. James is very well respected by his teammates and coaches for his sacrifice and tremendous work ethic. He always is looking for ways to improve his craft and support his teammates. Each spring, he would find ways to balance his indoor-outdoor shot put practice and meets for the track team with his offensive line workouts. James even won the shot put contest at his first meet this past weekend. Tim, what else can you tell us about James?
I tell you, I had the great experience of working with and being around James in both football and track at times over the years. He was my times, helping out with the javelin for the track team. I'd come across James out there and, taking the same approach, as in positive mindset that he took to approach each day and each rep that he took, either whether it was on the football field or in the shot put circle. And I know he's done some discus, and we gave it a shot for javelin there at one point, but he's obviously found his home and is doing very well with the shot put right now. Congrats on that win over the weekend. James would bring great energy every day, either getting the guys going and stretch or cheering, Tony the Tiger on, our wonderful kicker, and Antonio during field goal and extra point periods. Always very supportive of his teammates. And as mentioned before, his work ethic and sacrifices is just something that his coaches and teammates admired of him. And James, he's a lunch pal kind of guy, in terms of, coming to the field and, to be able to manage multiple sports and excelling in the classroom. And it can be difficult for someone who to be able to manage both of those in multiple sports and academics here at the prep through all 4 years. And, he's done a great job of that, and wish him, and by him doing that is going to have a ton of success, and will most likely have the opportunity to probably do both at the next level as well. So congrats to you, James, and your family. It was a special day, and very happy for you, man.
Thanks, Coach Rockin. I would like to thank my family, God, my coaches, and all my teammates for helping me to get to where I am today. And with that being said, I'll be attending Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute.
Congratulations, James. Up next is Michael Campbell. I'm sure Michael is able to credit all his success these past 4 years at the prep to that moment in the summer of 2016 when he won a prestigious award at the Prep U summer program. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at one of the winners from the Philly Pro Sports Theme Day. So I bet you didn't know he was in your presence today, but I digress. Michael has been in a few different roles within the program, but settled in this year at the fullback position. He took his previous coaching on the offensive line, understanding angles and leverage, and applied that successfully for us this year in a new role. Tim, what else can you tell us about Michael?
Yeah, I think as you said there, how he started out as an offensive lineman for us, and was working with Coach Sugden. Is like you talked about in terms of the techniques with leverage and understanding angles is a huge piece of that position. In a way, I guess is a huge position of kicking as well, right? That he was doing for us at the time and playing both. And as he grew through the program. And has had some struggles at times. We had some great conversations, myself and Coach Sugden, and trying to find the best role for him throughout here. And it's a place that he's really come to obviously enjoy being around his brothers within the program. It wasn't something when it came down to it, he wanted to walk away from. And it's our duty as coaches to make sure that we find the best opportunity for him to be successful in the field. And we offered and Coach Sugden offered an opportunity for him, especially this year, to make a huge impact. And he ran with it. And, I tell you what was also so special about him throughout the year is we had another young man who was helping out in that same position, who was new to the position this year. And to watch him now take that, take his what he's learned and to be able to develop some of the younger guys in our program was a huge step for him in his time here, and very appreciative of that. And stepped on a big stage for us and had to do some, we asked a lot of him. And he did it without blinking and went out and gave it his all. So Michael, I appreciate all your time and effort, your sacrifices, and I'm glad this has worked out for you. You got to go play a great opportunity at the next level, and please let everybody know where you'll be attending next year.
I just want to thank my coaches and my family, and I will be attending Widener next year.
Congratulations, Michael. Up next is Giambi Nesbit. Now, where do I start with Giambi? First off, Giambi, you need to apply to the Alumni Service Program in 4 years and think about working in my office. You have such a talent for engaging with people of all ages, and I just can't wait to see where life's journey takes you. That life's journey that will, of course, start after you work in my office doing the Alumni Service Corps program. Anywho, Giambi was a 2-year player at the defensive line position as a sophomore and junior. Unfortunately, he was injured in the offseason, which restricted him from playing this past season. Thankfully, that did not hinder him from making his presence felt at practice and helping his teammates get better every day. Tim, what else can you tell us about Giambi?
Well, I'll tell you, Giambi really came onto the radar. For myself and Coach Infante in particular, his freshman year, when about a few weeks, I want to say it was about 3 weeks into practices, and Coach Henderzak came up to us and informed us that we needed to figure out a transportation, solution for Giambi, because he was so committed at the time and didn't want to ask anybody for a ride or for help there, and was very humble in that sense. And he was riding his bike from his neighborhood across the bridge there and over the bridge and into the city, and for a 6 a.m. practice where guys are usually showing up to practice at 5:45, and Giambi's getting on his bike and making the trek for weeks at a time there, and making sure that he could be at practice and didn't let anybody down. And that alone, showed his commitment and that drive that he has to be successful. And I think like any young man that comes into the prep, it's a culture shock in one way or another, whether that's academically, socially, athletically, whatever it may be. And I think they all have their early struggles at times, but here's someone who was just uber competitive and wanted to be there and was always trying to help. And, he's always walking around with a smile on his face, and he's always got some jokes to tell or something like that. And, he's always trying to put smile and help each other out, help other people out. And I tell you what, when he became on the football field for us, sophomore year, became a rotational guy for us. I remember some big plays early on his sophomore year at St. Peter's Prep there up in North Jersey in that game. And then had just a really grew on Coach Stratz and the defense and Coach Infante throughout that year to give him more opportunities as they arrived for him throughout practice and in the games throughout the year. Junior year really took over and was a full-time guy for us, and made a big impact up front. And then, hey, the injury bug gets everybody in different ways at different times and in unfortunate situations. And, it came in at a fortunate time where, the injury bug got him in the spring there and took away his senior year. But I tell you what, and having some conversations with him this year and just, again, you get something taken away from you appreciate it that much more. And there's some great conversation there. And I tell you what, and especially over this last week and him coming down to deciding where he was going to go to school based on some other options that were potentially out there. And, he's his first visit on campus up there at this school is he runs into a prep grad of all people, right? To, be somebody that he can lean on at that next step for him. So happy for him. On this journey that he's taken through here. He's going to go and help so many more people in his lives and make them smile. And absolutely, I think he'll be back here in a few years, Hallie, for you, applying for that ASC and be back in the building. So, Giambi, congratulations. Very happy for you. And let everybody know where you're heading off to.
So before I do that, I want to just say thank you to my mom and everyone who's been helping me behind the scenes, to the coaches, and to everyone, my teammates especially. And from there on, I'll be going to St. Francis University.
Excellent. Congratulations, Giambi. Next up is Kade Rooney. We knew Cade was ready to take advantage of every opportunity at the prep when we noted in his file that he arrived at 7:40 a.m. for his 7th grade shadow visit. Talk about your early hawk getting the worm. Cade went out with a bang this year and caught his first and the last touchdown pass of this memorable season on a play that the team pulled back out from the 2013 state championship game playbook. Well respected by his teachers, coaches, students, for his leadership, work ethic, and care for the tradition of the school and program. Tim, what else can you tell us about Cade?
Yeah, I start with how you end it there and just his leadership, and his coachability. Someone who, from the jump, was keyed into the responsibilities that he was going to have in his role, and was going to do anything that he could to make sure that he was going to be able to hit those marks in terms of his goals. Someone who started out in the offensive line per se, right? And I've never seen somebody work harder in the weight room. And some guys struggle to put on weight, and and they're going through this stage of their lives. But it wasn't because he wasn't working hard, right? And it was just how different people's body grow physically. And he was a late bloomer in that sense, right? In terms of really kind of being hopping on the stage for us in multiple positions, right? He's playing some offensive line a little bit as a junior, had to against IMG when we had an injury there, had to bump him down to tackle, and but it was most likely, or it was a tight end for us, and was amazing up there because he knew the offensive line principles and was able to be that that saving piece there at the end of the line, when sometimes Max would start it or Brad would start it and goes whisper down the lane there. And, Cade would understand the principles and what needed to be done on each individual play. And but I tell you what, same thing, like throughout the off season, especially with Cade and being a huge part of our leadership committee, and is in terms of not only helping the guys within our program. I know he's a peer tutor for a lot of young men in the building as well. I've ushered a few of our younger guys to go see him, because of the approach he takes and trying to help some of our young men, both on the field and in the classroom. And, he's someone that has worked for everything that he's earned, that he's got coming for him right now, and a great opportunity at this next step for him. And, but I tell you, some of these guys for us, and as we go through, there's a lot of them, right? 18 of them are going to sign. Some of these guys for us really go under the radar, and you really look forward to seeing those guys explode at the next level, and with the opportunities that they're going to have. And we have already had a few guys at this next program that he's headed to, and really look forward to him to adding on to that and having great success at the next level and taking the things that he's learned here and echoing them at the at his next step. And he's going to be so very successful in his life and moving forward in whatever endeavors he decides to go for. So, Cade, congratulations to you, man. What a ride it's been. Congrats to you and your family, and appreciate all you and their support, and look forward to seeing you take your next step, man. So why don't you let everybody know, even though I almost slipped it out there.
Thank you, Coach. I just want to thank you and the rest of the coaches at the prep for everything they've done over the years. I want to thank my family for all their love and support. I want to thank my teammates and my brothers for helping me along every step of the way. And with that being said, I will be continuing my athletic and academic career at Bucknell University.
Awesome.
Excellent job. Congratulations, Cade. Congratulations to everyone. Tim, why don't we just throw it back to you to help us close out the festivities this afternoon?
Yeah, Jay, listen, it doesn't matter on the size of the group. We had 10 at the last one. We have 5 at this one. Most likely we'll have 3 at the one in the spring, and to wrap out this year. And what an incredible class of what they're, a lot of people will remember them for, and what they accomplished on the field, and 3 state titles, and the accolades and things like that. But really these guys are incredible young men that have grown through and have bought into, the core values of our program, and believe in our process, and they're about to start a new one. And they have, a good jump start on that next step that they have because of this place. I really believe that. And this is a family-based atmosphere, and the relationships that we've built right along this journey is what we'll look back on in the conversations we've had and the moments we've had along that. Not necessarily the scores or the wins or things like that, but more or less the moments in practices or the moments off the field, whatever they may be. But just a special group this year, and going to I really look forward to these five, especially honoring them today and their families for again their sacrifices and their support for myself and our coaches and their trust for us in us along this journey for them, and that this would be an opportunity for them at the end, and here they are, and very happy for them, and look forward to celebrating this whole class again when we have that opportunity to either be indoors or outdoors to host a banquet in the spring, and we'll get there. But look forward to getting back together with this group. And again, thank you all. Thank you, Howie, and thank you for all the preppers out there. Appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody. Take care. Go Prep.
Thank you. Go Prep.